Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. In this video, this is going to be part 9 of my Forgotten Items series, and for the mini theme of this episode is going to be Legion. If you've seen the previous Forgotten Items video, it was BFA. Now, if you have never seen one of these videos before, basically I take a handful of items where I deem them kind of as forgotten, which basically means that they are still great sellers to this day, but they're kind of pushed off to the side. Maybe you've used to sell these back in BFA or earlier, and somehow for whatever reason you got caught up with legendaries or Shadowlands items that, you just have not restocked them in a while. Or if you're brand new to the game, maybe these items you've never actually heard about, or just completely overlook them. But without further ado, we're going to get right into this video. We're going to be going over 5 Legion items, and here we go. As always, if you guys are new here and you enjoy this content and you want to see more, I would love if you would leave a like on the video, and also subscribe if you want to see more. But here's the first item. Alright, we're going to start this video off with probably the most well-known item on this list, which are auto hammers, and this comes from Legion Engineering. Now, if you do not know what this item is, it is very popular in PvP, raiding, Mythic Pluses, anywhere where you need multiple tries and your gear gets damaged a lot, and you place it down and it allows people to repair their items. So, if you wipe in a raid and people's items are starting to get broken, stuff like that, quickly drop an auto hammer, and so you don't have to try to run out and figure out where you can mount up, or you don't have to try to, leave the instance to go repair your gear. So, auto hammers, even though they are old content, they are still used in current content. And then, of course, unless Dragonflight brings a new version of the auto hammer, it should still be used throughout Dragonflight. Now, the one downside about this item is that there are ranks involved. Now, if you've never done Legion professions before, for some items, they have different ranks. So by just following the profession questline to, unlock recipes, you will automatically unlock rank 1. Also, most of the time, you will also unlock rank 2. Now, rank 3, depending on the item, is either locked behind reputation, or is like a world boss or a dungeon boss that you have to go kill, or it might just be a farmed world drop. Either way, if you want the cheapest ability to craft it, you do have to get that 3rd rank. Personally, I am still at rank 2. Now, the best thing about this is that 2 of the 3 items necessary for this craft are vendor items. So, make sure if you do pick up this item, go to the vendor to pick up the others. Don't be, buying them off the auction house. Then lastly, you're left with Laystone ore, which is pretty cheap. You might be able to farm it yourself if you really want to, pick it up for cheap on the auction house, or maybe you have some laying around if you ever did something in Legion. But auto hammers make great gold. Technically, the sell rate is about a 0.1, however, my personal sell rate on my realm is a 0.65, which is very, very high, and I highly recommend. Moving on, once again, we're going to start with the more well-known items, and the second one comes from Tailoring, which is the Silk Weave Satchel. Now, the good thing, unlike the auto hammer, this requires no ranks at all, so as long as you get the recipe, you'll be able to craft it for a 90 Shadowrai silk. And most of the time, you'll be able to find silk for very, very cheap on your server. Personally, the silk can go anywhere between, even 25 silver a piece, all the way up to 1 gold. My average buy price sits around the 85 silver mark. So if you buy it at 1 gold per silk, that is a 90 gold crafting cost. Or if you buy it at 50 silver per silk, that's only a 45 gold crafting cost. Now, in the past few weeks, I have sold over 40 of these bags. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, all right, why are these bags selling? And it is because they are just well known. If you were somebody who played a lot in Legion, you might have picked up or purchased a lot of these bags, and so, you're making alts, and that's just kind of your routine. People still buy these bags, even though it might not be the best bag to buy, but people still buy it, so you definitely want to throw it on the auction house. I sell these bags anywhere between 100 to 200 gold, so if my crafting cost is 45 gold, That's 65 to 165 gold profit, or 155 gold profit, depends. And then if I have a crafting cost of like 90 gold, that's 10 to 110 gold profit. So you might not get rich overnight with these bags, but sell them for a month, sell them for the next 3 months, and you might make some really good profit. Next, we have the Legion enchants, specifically the neck enchants. Now, these have been doing super well on my server, and I will make sure to provide a screenshot, and they are just super easy to make. Now, these do have ranks similar to the auto hammer, but actually, personally, I only have rank 1. So I'm still making a ton of profit with the lowest rank. Of course, if you level these up back in Legion on your enchanter, then your crafting cost will be even cheaper. But if you guys are interested, I have a free old world group for enchants on my Discord that you can grab up. But what that group does is if nothing is posted on the auction house, it will post it at 10,000 gold. And that has happened a lot on my server where I'm the only poster because I am on a lower pop. And so, I've gotten a lot of these necks selling at 9 to 10,000 gold. Now that is not going to be the case on all servers, and sometimes I only sell these for about 2 to 3,000, and that's kind of the 3 to 5,000 range is kind of the region average, but the crafting cost for a rank 1 is sitting at about 1,000 gold to 600 gold on my server. So even if I sell it for only 2,000, that is still doubling my money. I'm selling these at 9,000 though, so I'm making, on the low end, maybe 6,000 to 8,000 gold profit, which is insanely awesome. Yet again, I'm at the lowest rank, so if I actually had the better ones, I would even have a better margin. But people buy these for their ults, for twinks, stuff like that, so I highly recommend getting into these enchants. Even if they don't sell a ton, they're just easy to post once a day, forget about them, and get some passive sales. Moving on, we probably have the hardest one on this list, which comes from Blacksmithing, and this is the steel-bound harness. Now, this is technically a mount, and it is the green Corehound mount. I don't know the exact mount name, however, the item to learn the mount is the steel-bound harness. Now, the reason why this is probably the hardest on the list is because, first of all, you have to go out of your way to get this item. The mount recipe itself does drop from a boss inside one of the Legion raids, so you probably will need help of a friend in order to go get the recipe. To my knowledge, as long as you are a blacksmith, you will get it first try. The WoW head percentage does not reflect that, however, WoW head percentages are not always accurate, and to my knowledge, everybody who has attempted previously, as well as myself, has gotten it first try. Also, in order to actually craft this item, you do need Bloods of Sargeras, which are bind on pickup. So these are items that you can't strictly just buy off the auction house. You do have to do your mission table, go do world quest, stuff like that in order to get this item. Now, a ton of people who do sell this mount, have a habit of going out doing the world quest, passively have them from Legion previously, or maybe you just, do your mission table every day, but that is an extra step that you have to do if you want to sell this item. Despite all of those things, this is a really good seller. The profit margin on most servers are really great, and also it does have a really good sell rate. Personally, I have only sold one because I'm pretty lazy on the department of, collecting bloods, but, if you enjoy kind of doing that world quest stuff, or you have a ton stockpiled, this is perfect for you. And lastly, this brings us to our final item, which comes from Jewelcrafting, and these are Saber's Eyes. Specifically, the cut version of Saber's Eyes. Now, the reason why I have these on the list is because of the Mage Tower. These are one of the recommended gems in the big gear list, so people have been buying these. Now, these did super well the first time around of the Mage Tower, and ever since the Mage Tower has come back, and now it is permanent, the overall sales have slowed down a bit, but, that is to be expected, because there is no longer a rush to get it all done. However, I have still sold a few, ever since the Mage Tower has come back, just not as much as I used to. Also, there's two ways to go about this. So, what I was able to do was, on my auction house, there were a ton of random uncut Saber's Eyes thrown on my auction house. I don't know if it's because a crafter was getting out of the market, somebody randomly found them in their bank, but they threw them on the auction house for about 500 gold each, and I quickly picked that up. If they are super expensive on your auction house, or none at all, in order to actually craft this, you do need a lot of pretty expensive materials from Legion. And one of them is the Blood of Sargeras, which yet again is bind on pickup, so you can't actually buy that off the auction house. So it's a little bit harder to actually craft this if, none are available, but personally, I would just wait to see if you can scoop any up for a really cheap price. After that, you just cut them into the 3 different versions, and personally, I like to keep, at least one of each up on the auction house at all time, and they go for anywhere between 10 to 20 gold on my server. Sorry, 10 to 20,000 gold on my server. There we go. And so, I've sold it in the upwards to 25,000 gold apiece, and I've sold them for about 10,000 gold apiece. I bought them for 500 gold, so that's really, really good. Depending on your server, you might be a little bit less, a little bit more, but it's just an item to look out on. Once again, it is completely up to you to decide if you're going to craft it from scratch, you're just going to wait until some cheap one comes around, or maybe it's just not a market for you. But that is it for this video. That is the 5 Legion forgotten items that I have. Now, all of these are great items, and yes, I know that all of these might not be great on your specific server, but at least, hopefully, one of them is, and then, my job here is done. As long as you can walk away from this video with learning or being able to craft one more item to help you make some gold, that is awesome. As always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. Let me know how any of these items perform for you, if you've ever done them, and as always, have a good day, everybody.